Hey guys, welcome back. It's 2019, 31st of December, and I'm making some chicken biryani. We make biryani every year as a tradition. The video is going to be in three parts. We'll marinate the chicken, we'll cook the rice, and we'll assemble it all together. I'll post the recipe in the description below. It's the exact recipe which I'm doing. So if you follow the recipe, hopefully you should be able to replicate it. But obviously, do make it your own. You can add your own variation, you can add your own spices, and you can add your own touch to it. Biryani as a dish has always amazed me because it's in one pot meal and you can literally cook food for 500,000 of people, and it's just amazing. I'll also post some other information with regards to biryani, because the vessel in which you cook the biryani is also really important. It makes a lot of difference. But anyway, I hope you do like it, and have a great new year, and have a great 2020. So I'm going to show you how to marinate the chicken, and really simple. So let's have a look at the ingredients. So some fresh chicken, fried brown onions, salt, yogurt, some fresh ginger garlic paste, garam masala, red chili powder, lime juice, some green chilies, chopped mint, chopped coriander. I also use this Shan Biryani spice mix, which actually helps me to. If I didn't have this, I would have to use cumin powder, coriander powder, and other spices to compensate for that. What it does is it compensates for all the other spices and makes the biryani making process much more simpler, really easy. So once I've mixed it all together, I'll show you the next steps. Just one thing to keep in mind when you're mixing the chicken is add your spices a bit more than you actually think you need, because you want the chicken to be marinated a little heavily as it mixes with the rice, so it'll balance it out. So just bear that in mind, and I'm just going to marinate it and we'll have a look. Okay. So the biryani I'm making is in the dum cooked style, which means the meat is raw and the rice is half cooked. And one thing you want to remember is do not add too much yogurt, because when you add too much yogurt, it makes your chicken too runny. And also you need to realize that when the meat is cooked, it's always releasing moisture. So you don't want too much yogurt in your marination. And all you want the yogurt is to just hold all the spices together. That's pretty much the role for the yogurt. And I would marinate my chicken overnight. It is preferred, but if you don't have the time, at a minimum of 2 hours would be nice. And that's how my chicken looks after I've marinated. So I'm going to cook the rice, and I have some tips to follow, if you can just remember that. So we have some water boiling. I'm going to add some black cumin, or it's also called Shahi, Jeera, or black cumin, to the water. Some bay leaf. You want to put enough salt so that the water is almost a bit kind of salty. You want the water to be a bit salty. I've crushed some cardamom, some green cardamom, and I'm gonna put that in. And this is the Shan Biryani spice, if you remember from the earlier clip. And I'm gonna just add some of that, because biryani is really all about rice which is nicely flavored with the aromas of the spices together with the meat. And I have the rice which I've washed and soaking. So once the water comes to a boil, I'll cook the rice to about 60%, and then I'll show you the next steps. Okay. So when you boil the rice, put the rice in hot boiling water, and I've cooked the rice now for about 7 minutes. You really don't want to cook the rice more than 7 to 10 minutes, 10 minutes max, because when you bite the rice, you want it to be firm. It has to be firm, because if the rice is soft, that means you've already overcooked the rice. So right now my rice is just about at the right consistency. Now here's the important thing which I want you to pay attention to is I'm going to take the rice, strain it, and you want to cool down the rice instantly, as soon as you can, so there's no carryover cooking. A really important step to remember, and I'm going to just do that right now. Okay, so we're gonna finally assemble the biryani, and this is what we need, okay? So I have my rice, which is boiled. I've strained it and I've cooled it down completely. It helps with two things. One is it drains away all the starch, which is actually makes the rice more fluffier once it's cooked. I have my chicken, which has been marinated. Here on this side, I have some dough which I'm going to use to seal the rim of the container once all the assembly is done. I have some brown onions, some saffron which is soaked in some milk. I have some of the biryani seasoning from earlier. I have chopped mint, chopped coriander, some crushed whole spices, some fresh lime juice. Now I also add a cayenne pepper on every layer. We make it a bit spicy at home, and again, this is completely optional. If you don't want to make it spicy, you don't have to do this. And I have some of the oil which I fried the onions in, so I'm going to reuse some of that oil. And I have some ghee, which I'm also going to add to every layer of the biryani, so that we have some kind of oil to for the mouthfeel. Otherwise, the food becomes too dry if there's no oil in it. Okay, and we'll just get started. So I've just created my first layer. So I have my chicken and I put a layer of rice on the top. Now to that, the first thing I'm going to add is some saffron. Saffron is actually what will give it a really nice aroma, some nice flavor. Some lemon juice. I add some ghee. Some of the oil from the onions which I'd used earlier. A little bit of a sprinkling of some of the spice, the biryani seasoning, which will really make the rice aromatic. Fresh chopped coriander or cilantro, fresh chopped mint, and the fried onions. At this stage, I also sprinkle in a little bit of the cayenne pepper. Not too much, just to have a hint of spice there. And then I'm going to exactly repeat the same thing to complete the whole preparation. And we're ready to cook. I just hope that it comes out nice. Okay, so we're gonna cook it for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna cook it for about 20 minutes on high flame, and then probably about 10 to 15 minutes on low fire. Well, the trick is, as soon as you see the steam escaping from the edges of the container, that's when your biryani is ready, basically. So we'll just watch for that. Okay. So the biryani has now been cooking for about 35 minutes, and as you can see, the steam is escaping from the edge of the container, and that's a kind of telltale sign that it's ready to go. And normally at this stage, I would just turn it off, and I would just let it sit for some time before I open it. I hope you're able to see it, and I hope the camera is able to capture. Okay, the biryani is finally ready. I'm going to open it for the first time, right in front of the camera. So let's see. Okay, first impression, it looks good. The rice, you can see it's nice and fluffy. Let me see one of the pieces. Yeah, basically that's it. So at this stage, all you want to do is just serve it onto a plate. Garnish it with some fried onions. People sometimes add some boiled eggs, lemon wedges. Really, you can do whatever you want. We're going to make some raita to serve with the biryani today. Once again, I really want to thank you for watching this, and have a wonderful new year, and we'll see you in 2020. Have a wonderful, safe new year actually, and we'll see you again. Thank you so much. Okay.